The historic old town of Bergamo is enthroned on a hilltop plateau above the bustling new town. Northern Italy, like out of a picture book. Since 1887, a funicular railway leads up to the old town. Only a few minutes to the fortified Città Alta and the living past. The strongly fortified city, not far from Milan, at the point where the Brembo and Serio rivers enter the Po plain. Since time immemorial, such strategic locations have been deciding factors in the choice of the sites. The massive ring of walls with several huge stone gates was extended even further. The Piazza Vecchia, together with the Piazza Del Duomo, has formed the centre of the upper town since the 15th century. The town tower overlooks the square and the former town hall, whose Venetian influence is recognisable by not only the relief of St. Mark's Lion. A narrow passage between the tower and the old town hall provides a view of the neoclassical facade of the cathedral. Inside, the splendour of the Baroque beauty that only a holy place can radiate is overwhelming. The Romanesque Basilica, created in 1207, became the cathedral in the 15th century. Several precious side chapels frame the huge nave, with the reliquary of St. Alexander. The main altar of Alessandri, with all the paintings, gold and silver jewellery, is crowned by a dome glorifying the saint. The Bishop's Crypt and the Vincent Chapel were also visited by Pope John XXIII. All the art treasures kept here are an expression of faith and created for the glory of God. Through the open arched hall under the former court, the church ensemble is clearly visible. Basilica, Baptistery and Colleoni chapel, which are right next to the cathedral. Stone lions guard an entrance. The treasure house is part of the Basilica Santa Maria Maggiore, which can be reached via a spiral staircase in a side tower. Frescoes from the 14th century with motifs of saints accompany the staircase. At the uppermost level is the treasure room with valuable bishop's vestments, the large fresco of Alexander on his horse, and ancient stone sculptures. The imposing interior of the gallery, Basilica, essentially dates from the 16th to 18th centuries, with domes and vaults. Opulent wall paintings framed with stucco angels and others framed with golden columns. Notable are the wall tomb for Cardinal Longhi, the wooden crucifix, the choir stalls, masterpieces of the art of wood carving. Santa Maria Maggiore is the most important church in the city. Adjacent is the funeral chapel of the Colleoni family, built by the military leader of the same name. The Baptistery, with its elegant little columns, was demolished in the 17th century and only reassembled 200 years later. The hill of Bergamo is an ancient cultural site. Celts settled here, followed by Romans, Lombards and Franks. Ultimately, the inhabitants resisted Barbarossa. Fighting ensued between the papal supporters and the emperor's loyalists. Those wild times are long gone, and today the Upper Town in particular is one of the most attractive localities of culture in northern Italy. And the well-preserved buildings and alleys became a romantic backdrop for the growing number of tourists. In front of the city gate, at the uphill end of the Upper Town, the ride on the city's second funicular railway begins. The track is smaller, but the single track continues steeply up to the top of the hill, to the fortress of San Viglio. But prior to that, the stunning view of the upper and lower town from the observation platform at the railway's terminus is itself a reward. Only the remains of the massive foundation walls are left of the fortress, but evidence of the former military might can still be seen when walking around. The funicular takes us back to the Upper Town. Through a narrow labyrinth of alleys, the path leads up and down and crisscrosses until the citadel is suddenly very close. Where the Rocca was built, once stood the Roman capital with a temple of Jupiter. Azzoni Visconti initially completed the fortress just when Milan and Venice began to fight for supremacy. But the Venetians were victorious. Then Napoleon appeared, followed by the Habsburgians and the kingdoms of Sardinia. Garibaldi did not move in until 1859. Italy was united, and the city of Bergamo has survived all turmoils and regencies without harm. One of the best protected city settlements was never attacked.